Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Advancement Center and to the world of magic and miracles and the magic of your life. This life is moving so fast. Each and every one of you are experiencing things that you could have never imagined. And as the song said, it's only just begun. So buckle up and be ready to be surprised by anything that shows up in your world as the energies and the beings, our friends everywhere, are pushing us forward into the magnificence of who we all are. And they're surrounding us, watching, cheering, applauding, rooting us on. But there's a lot happening. And it's just fantastic. Everywhere you turn, changes in the structure of this human existence, more magic and more miracles. And the secret of living a life of magic and miracles is to take your hands off the steering wheel. We now have these cars that can drive themselves. Well, we don't want to entertain that at the moment, but magic and miracles has been steering our life as long as we've been in this physical reality. And it's only when we grab the wheel that it backs off and lets you have your way. It can't step beyond your sovereign authority. But when you were a child, you knew how that felt because you didn't have your hands on the wheel of what was for dinner or what was for lunch. Food just appeared like magic. And there was no conflict, no need to control the car. So take your hands off the wheel and watch the magic appear. Listen for the sound and the communication that's always here. Hear the music, feel the vibration of being looked after, of a new existence that takes you further into the world of your creator. So I'm going to get right to a few things that I wrote. Life is just a sequence of changes, some that life brings up in a linear fashion from an event like giving birth to a child, and others are random, like being a part of a car accident or working for a company that goes out of business. Your reaction to these endless changes that I call life determines whether you suffer and see a problem or whether you have no suffering and never see that there's a problem. The experience that you've chosen to have upon deciding to come here requires many circumstances and changes for you to receive that multi-layered experience that you chose for yourself. That experience can always be modified for your time, and the incarnation creates many opportunities to reset what you need to experience and then, in effect, change your destiny. But either way, the thing that is constant is change. And your reaction to it, in the end, only affects you in this physical reality. The you that is outside of this physical reality, along with your guides and support team and those that help orchestrate the circumstances for you to experience what you have desired to experience, are not affected by your reaction, other than with a laugh and a comment like, "We said, are you sure you want to do this?" So here you are, knee deep, or maybe neck deep, into what you have designed for yourself. And the changes just keep coming. And the only question is, how will you react? Your reaction will not and cannot change the fact that you are a divine, infinite, spiritual being, but it will cause you some difficulty here in this physical plane. That made me want to read a page from my book, I Am Change. Love letter from Mr. and Mrs. Change. Dear humanity, I am change. I have gotten a bad rap for most of my life. It appears that your love for me will always be conditional. When I bring you good circumstances, a new car, a new job, a new house, or a new relationship, you seem to love me. But when I deliver so-called bad circumstances, the end of a relationship, the loss of a job, the death of a loved one, you rail me without regard. I'm asking you to please love me the same in both circumstances, no matter what the change, whether it is perceived as good or bad. Know that you will get through it, and know that I am coming again and again. I am a part of the one who loves you unconditionally, but I am also you. Yes, that's right. You and I and Source are all one, and we are working together to bring you to your true self. When you are able to accept this, you will be able to let go of all blame. Until that day comes, I will patiently wait as you misjudge me and take my actions as a personal attack. I know, like everyone who has been on this planet, you will look back on your life and be thankful for all the things that I did. In that moment, we will be as one, and you will have unconditional love for me as I have had unconditional love for you. I'm hoping you will come to this place sooner rather than later, for to have peace with me is to be at peace with all that is. There is no judgment if you have resistance to this message. I will always love you without conditions, and I will continue to come for you to help you grow and to become who you truly are. Love always, change. Masculine and feminine, the two polarities. The feminine energy has always been the most reactive. It has been fraught with turmoil, never settled, always seemingly unstable, like that of a hummingbird flitting and fluttering at 1,000 miles an hour, with an engine and a motor in its small frame that could power a planet. But in part, that has been what was needed by the one that would deliver the power of change onto the planet. The turmoil and chaos were needed to be the fuel to run the engine of change. The masculine, seemingly more balanced and settled, less reactive, like that of a tree, still and quiet, adorned with branches and leaves, a sanctuary of love for all to rest upon. It was needed to give rest to the agents of change, for the hummingbird could land upon the branches and rest upon the tree. two opposite polarities, both needed to bring about something that has been held back from the human entity. Too much of one without the other leads to an imbalance and produces a point of weakness in our being, a weakness that can be attacked and used to provoke a separation of our union. The power of the feminine to destroy the world and the love of the masculine to allow it to happen, both extremes of the gifts that they hold within themselves. But now we are bringing in the balance within each of the two, as the feminine will absorb a portion of the love of the masculine, and the masculine will absorb a portion of the power of the feminine. Now, no one side will have to carry the weight of change while only using one polarity, as the balance that is created between the two within each person will heal each one into perfection. No more will there be an extreme of the one causing the feminine to lack love and the masculine to lack power. We are returning to wholeness, back to the original balance that existed between the two from the beginningless beginning. There is immense beauty in what I am seeing and transmitting. The pure in spirit will once again inherit the earth, as everything is returning to its original balance. No longer warring between the two, but instead a perfect union and equality between the two, both within and without of ourselves. Not many could see this coming, because not many knew of the existence of the structure of the two and the state of the separation that exists within each one of us. But now all will know, two halves of the whole, returning to the perfect balance between the two. This restoration is coming on the wings of the new world and the energy that is supporting its arrival. Therefore, the weakness will be made strong, and the places that were vulnerable to attack fortified. For the new human will be once again full of perfect power and perfect love, balanced in all its ways, no longer having an absence of love within the feminine polarity and the absence of power within the masculine polarity. Finally, at peace within itself and having no more war with the other droplets of water that make up the ocean or the source. There is only joy in my heart now for the magnificence of this moment within the history of the existence of the human entity. Tears of joy for the releasing of the burden of being one-sided. For the human entity has suffered this separation long enough, and today that suffering has come to an end. I don't know yet the timeline of when this will appear in the physical world, nor can I see the details of its outward expression. But what I do know and what I can see is that today it is done, and it is being placed within the field of Gaia herself, for she too is coming into balance between the two polarities within herself. The masculine, full of love, was lacking in its ability to take action, needing the passivity to deliver patience and unconditional love. And the feminine, full of power, was lacking in its ability to be patient, needing aggressiveness to bring about a much needed change. When one-sided in either polarity, you are like an athlete who only develops one side of their body. And even though the dominant side will be fully developed and capable, the less dominant side would be lacking and subject to frequent breakdowns from it being so underdeveloped and weak. Once again, it is the balance, that place where both sides are equally developed and equally capable, never being too much of one and not enough of the other, will bring a peace in your life that you never thought possible. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid. Know that all polarities still exist, but they will have found their point of balance and there will be harmony throughout all the universes. And the lion shall lay down with the lamb, the dark shall balance the light, and the hummingbird shall sing with the tree. It is a grand day indeed, for the celebration of the reunion of the balance between all opposites has begun. Cheers to us all. We have all just changed the world. Longing and the new game. Words cannot describe this longing that exists within each one of us. Nothing that is here in the physical plane can ever satisfy this longing. It may appear to satisfy it, but it will only be temporary. There is something far grander within each of us, a connection to something that is infinite, a feeling of an expandedness that cannot be measured, an awareness that is so unlimited and so expansive that it makes the physical reality pale in comparison. This longing is like a splinter in your mind, fading away sometimes, but never ever leaving. Buried deep within your being, this burning desire lays dormant until the time is right. And then upon its moving to the fore of your life, it begins to produce a focus that brings an answer to all that is calling you, an answer to that burning desire within your life through all light, wisdom, and power. Consciousness has risen up in you to respond to that new focus, that new awareness, that burning desire. Tears well up in me, in my being, as I know that this desire is within every piece of life everywhere. And yet most of humanity suffers within themselves, trying to make the physical world the place of happiness. This longing transcends the measurability of science, for science comes only to measure what it sees as matter, and that only exists in space and time. This longing and this awareness of this longing exists far beyond the limited field of matter and space and time. This longing is now about to be fulfilled. The cries from deep within your being to know yourself, to know that which you already know somewhere inside yourself is now here. Now you can fully live your life in this physical incarnation clearly and simply from the place of knowing as the longing within you becomes fulfilled. We have reached that tipping point, that 100th monkey, that place where the collective longing for something more, something different and something new forces through the power of our collected being, the manifestation of a new reality, a new way of being, and a brand new world. We have grown tired of this one game that we have played over and over. We know how it starts and we know how it ends. We have discovered all the cheat codes and we have played it with our eyes open, our eyes closed, with two hands and with no hands. Played it in our sleep and played it when fully awake. And we've discovered that there is nothing new to discover. There are no new challenges to keep us excited, to keep it fresh and new. We are born, we grow up, we go to school, we get a job, we get married, we raise a family, we go on vacations, we retire, and we go on more vacations. Within all this, there are great moments of love, joy, excitement, and spontaneity, but the structure of the game never changes, and we just repeat the pattern over and over. We are ready for a new structure, a new reality, a new game, and so a new game is coming. And just like when you heard that a new video game was being released or a new piece of technology was about to be in the stores, your excitement level went through the roof, for you saw all the infinite possibilities that would now exist in your life. It was a new game, a new toy, a new life, one that you did not know how it would end, one that rode on the vibration of a brand new structure with completely different rules. This is what we have been longing for, and it is now right outside our door. Hold on, for your longing has been heard, and that new game is on its way. A game that you will never get to the end of in 1,000 lifetimes. A game full of mystery and magic. A game that you yourself have created. A game where nothing is hidden and no one faction has control of the infinite outcomes. So long no more, for what you have been seeking and what you have been desiring has come to you just as you have designed it to. Are you ready? Then let us start a new game. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze and drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossoms on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new game, it's a new day for me, and I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean. Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when the day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for me, and I'm feeling good. Stars when you shine, you know what I feel. Scent of the pine, you know what I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, and I'm feeling good. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. It's great to be here. Enjoy your new day, your new dawn, your new life, your balance between your feminine and masculine sides, your peace, your joy, your freedom, and your new life. Thank you for joining me. I am David.